Welcome to Wise Out Paint Party and another Paint This Finish video. This one's going to be a fun, beachy sort of themed because we're going to have a base coat of Mermaid Kiss with some cool layering and techniques to show how you can use other products besides paint for layering. So if this is something you're interested in, stay tuned today. All right, and we're starting off with Mermaid Kiss, as I mentioned. Really beachy themed, beautiful blue, turquoise, green color. It's probably my favorite of the turquoises that we have. I think it's the most perfect of the ones. We do have quite a few blue-green, so it just depends on which one you think you like the most. But for this finish, we're going for that kind of rustic beach themed finish. So I decided to start with Mermaid Kiss. I have my Klingon S50 and we're just kind of painting on a layer. We're going to go ahead and do two coats. So first coat is just like as you would with most of our chalk synthesis paints. It's going to have almost complete coverage, but you're not going to want to glop it on too thick. You want to get a good thin coat, ensuring it as much coverage as possible. And then that second coat is where you're really going to see that complete coverage go on. And this finish is going to be a fun one because we're not just going to use paint. So we're going to use our wax to show how you can add layers to the color, to the paint, to the finish to do more with what you have. So like the Mermaid Kiss is a bright, beautiful turquoise color, but what if you wanted to pull that color down just a little bit? What can you do? How can you try and tone it back or add layers to or age it or all those kind of fun things? That's what we're going to work on. So our next step is I have my Klingon S30 and you can see me, I dipped in snow oil, I wiped off the excess onto a blue shop towel because we're going to do some dry brushing. And as you can see, I'm doing the raised areas first, which is a lot of times what people use dry brushing for. But as you're going to see for this finish, I'm going to use dry brushing everywhere. And that's another cool thing about dry brushing is it's not just for those raised areas. You can, as you can see, I'm going down into the recessed area and I'm just adding an ever so gentle layering of snow owl to continue to add some depth, some layering to show all of what the paint has from below, what the wood has from below, especially like this is a wood sample board, so you can see all the grain from the wood, the brush strokes from below. I mean, just that alone is that right there is a pretty cool finish all by itself. Just Mermaid Kiss and a little bit of snow owl dry brushing. You can imagine seeing some of our rose gold heavy metals metallic gilding paint as a knob or a handle for a piece like that, right? But I wanted to show how you could take it one step further. So we're just going to start off with the Mermaid Kiss and the Snow Owl, and then we're going to go ahead and top coat it. So our next step is going to be top coating. Oh, you can see me going up and down, left and right, everywhere with that dry brush. That's just, that's what you want to do with this finish. You want to get it all over everywhere, but in this really ever so faint and thin look to Snow Owl. But we are going to top coat it. And we're going to top coat it first before we get to the accenting wax. So we have that nice buffer, that layer between the paint and the wax to ensure the wax moves around the way we want it to when we get to that point. So if you're new to painting with any kind of chalk style paint or Wise Owl in general, this is a great technique to use because the wax in chalk style paint will want to adhere and grab and hold on really, really tight if there's no barrier between the paint and the wax. So I always do something in between unless I'm just straight covering it with that color wax, which is a technique as well. But for this finish, we went ahead and we added our Unscented Hemp Salve. And this, as you can see, went on that kind of green color, but no fret, don't worry. Once you wipe it back, you can see it's very, very clear. it'll dry clear, and it'll dry a beautiful matte finish. And that's one of the main reasons why I use our unscented hemp salve, because it just leaves it beautiful and matte. Now we're going on to the crazy part where you're probably going to freak out. So we got our hemp wax, and look at me go, ah, right? So basically what we're doing here is we're creating a brand new color layer, a different shade or value to what we had with the Mermaid Kiss and the Snow Owl, because we're adding the shade to it, and it's going to darken and deepen and add so much character to the color and give the Mermaid Kiss and Snow Owl a totally new look. So don't freak out. You've already done the unscented hemp salve as a top coat, so you have that barrier between your paint and your now wax, so you know when it comes time to wipe off that it will. But if you try to do this directly over paint without the layer, you might have a little bit more of an issue than what we're going to show right here. So I have my blue shop towel, and I just start wiping back. And as you can see, I'm going back and forth, because I'm rubbing the black walnut hemp oil wax into the finish. So I'm not trying to just wipe it away, but I'm also trying to wipe it into the finish. So down into the paint, down into the cracks and crevices. So it's again changing the value of your Mermaid Kiss to this a little bit darker color, a little bit more subdued. The saturation's pulled back a little bit, and I love it. It's one of those really cool things to do with a turquoise. Well, again, you did your top coat, you did your wax, you can wipe back. And you can simply wipe back with a blue shop towel, or if you wanted to pull even more back, if you had your unscented hemp salve rag handy, you could wipe back even more with a rag. Or your last resort, you can actually use mineral spirits on a rag and wipe it back, which will basically take it all the way off. So just be careful with that. But this is your final result. I mean, really cool, super fun finish. Hope you guys enjoyed this paint this finish video. If you did, hit that subscribe, that like button, and be sure to find your local Wise Owl retailer nearest you to find all these products. I'll have a link in the description down below so you can find the one nearest you. I hope everybody has a blessed day, and as always, happy painting.